Right Honourable Speaker and colleagues, I rise to second the motion to pay tribute to our colleague, the Honourable Mohammed Ssegirinya. And perhaps before I do that, I also wish to express my disappointment. The Deputy Prime Minister has just walked in. Before that, there was no one on the front bench. Right Honourable Speaker, yesterday, I reached out to you intending to move this motion, given that Honourable Ssegirinya was one of us. The guidance I got was practice normally is the Prime Minister moves the motion and the LOP seconds, something that I was very comfortable with. In fact, I was glad that the motion would be moved by somebody from the government side. It was bothersome that this morning there was no one from government to move the motion. That's very disappointing. I want to appreciate colleagues from the NRM who are here. Honourable Ssegirinya was an opposition member, but you're here, as we normally do. We have lost several MPs in this 11th Parliament. May God help us, by the way. May God help us. But we are normally united in these times. Majority of those who have died belong to the opposition, I mean the NRM, but we are always here, even as the opposition, in solidarity of colleagues. We quarrel and argue about so many things because we don't agree politically and so on. But then we are colleagues. And in death, that's why we normally are united. So, Madam Deputy Prime Minister, please convey my utmost disappointment in the Prime Minister and your colleagues. Right Honourable Speaker,
at least appreciate the Speaker was here early.
The Speaker is neutral and doesn't debate. That's why I've not involved the Speaker in my disappointment. I wanted it to settle where it should.
Honourable Prime Minister, that's a very serious message. And I really want you to relay that message. Because when we're in this house, we are one. Please.
All right. Right Honourable Speaker and colleagues, as I said, I am seconding the motion to pay tribute to our fallen comrade, the Honourable Mohammed Ssegirinya, Member of Parliament for Kawempe North constituency, who passed on after a very long battle with illness. On behalf of the opposition in Parliament and on my own behalf, I wish to extend commiserations to the family of the Honourable Ssegirinya, the people of Kawempe North constituency, the National Unity Platform, party he belonged to and loved, and indeed, the entire country on the demise of the Honourable Mohammed Ssegirinya. Honourable Speaker, death is a painful aspect of life, regardless of the age at which one passes on. However, losing a youthful legislator at 37 years of age, who had huge dreams and aspirations, is so tragic. Honourable Mohammed Ssegirinya grew up in a humble family, as we all know, as he had always talked about, and faced various challenges that shaped his life. Despite limited resources, he prioritized education and engaged in community activities. Honourable Ssegirinya was still studying at the time of his death. Some of us think when we get to Parliament, we have arrived. But he said, I'll keep adding knowledge. That's how hungry he was for knowledge. His experiences deepened his understanding of issues affecting ordinary Ugandans, fueling his passion for activism and advocacy for a better country. Honourable Ssegirinya's journey from grassroots involvement to national recognition showcases his resilience and ability to connect with diverse people, earning him respect in Uganda's political landscape. Honourable Ssegirinya first gained public attention through his participation in Kampala-based radio talk shows. His frequent spirited calls to these shows earned him recognition as Ssegirinya Eddobozi ly'Ekyebando, translating to Ssegirinya, the voice of Kyebando. During these radio engagements, he would refer to himself as MP2B. Each time he would call, he would say, Ssegirinya Mohammed Eddobozi ly'Ekyebando, MP2B. And this was in the early 2000s, over 15 years before he would eventually become a legislator. This speaks of the fact that when one is resilient and steadfast, it is possible to achieve one's aspirations. When one is resilient and steadfast, it's possible for one to achieve their aspirations. In 2016, he was elected as the Lord Councillor for Kawempe North in Kampala Capital City Authority. He used this position and platform to advocate for social justice and community development. His vibrant personality and commitment to grassroots issues endeared him to many people. During the 2021 elections, Honorable Ssegirinya contested for the parliamentary seat of Kawempe North under the National Unity Platform and won overwhelmingly. He set out to serve his people in various ways, especially healthcare, filling the gaps that were created by government. Things that we do as members of parliament, which should be done by government, buying ambulances, building healthcare centers, fundraisings. Colleagues normally call us for fundraisings, both opposition and the government side. Fundraising for a government health center, fundraising for this and that. Things that should be taken care of government. But here we are. And Honorable Ssegirinya was filling those gaps as a member of parliament. Unfortunately, not long after he had joined this august house, he was arrested and jailed for a long period of time over the Bijambia Panga attacks on the population of Masaka region, which saw the killing of many Ugandans. And to date, Right Honorable Speaker, justice eludes the bereaved families because the question of who killed their loved ones has never been answered to date. While in prison, Honorable Ssegirinya got severely sick and his condition kept deteriorating by the day. He was constantly denied bail, as we all saw, even though his condition was worrisome. Even when government doctors recommended specialized treatment for him that warranted him to be granted bail, the judge still sent him back to prison, where he continued to worsen each passing day. His lawyers made a plea and produced before court medical records signed by government doctors saying this man should be released on bail to go and get specialized treatment. The judge said, no, go back to jail. After a while, Honorable Ssegirinya was granted bail only for him to be abducted outside Kigo prison by gun-wielding men in plain clothes, in total violation of our country's laws. This disregard for the rule of law continues unabated in our country. And as we have witnessed, it affects all of us, including colleagues on the government side, as you have seen very recently. We must jointly castigate this and call for its end. Many Ugandans have been abducted in similar manner, and to date, they are still missing. All this is in a country which prides itself in following constitutionalism. We should be ashamed of these acts. Right Honorable Speaker and colleagues, the denial of bail to Honorable Muhammad Ssegirinya feeds into the recent narrative by General Yoweri Museveni lately. He has called for denial of bail and even police bond, something which is not in tandem with our constitutional order. While bail and police bond may not be mandatory, directing judicial officers and police officers not to give them to those before them is unbecoming and should be condemned by us all, because we are all potential victims. Colleagues, we are all potential victims. As we send off Honorable Ssegirinya, may we commit to respect the rule of law, because he suffered due to the disregard for the rule of law. Of late, we have seen threats by our country's Chief of Defense Forces, General Muhoozi Kainerugaba, threatening our neighboring countries, including Kenya, South Sudan, DRC, and the threats have extended to his colleagues in the military, and even leaders in this country. He, for example, threatened to behead and even eliminate the Honorable Robert Kyagulanyi Ssentamu, a former member of this House, and the leader of the National Unity Platform. This is abhorring and unacceptable. I hope that we can all condemn this and demand for action Because this is not acceptable. While the state continues to disregard these issues and trivialize them, the country suffers disregard for the rule of law. All right-thinking Ugandans should strive for constitutionalism and respect for our country's laws, something Honorable Ssegirinya was very passionate about. Let's fight for our laws. Let's fight for the Constitution. Before the Constitution is too weak to defend us, because that time of reckoning will come, regardless who you are, when you need it to fight for you. If you don't fight for it now, it will not be present to fight for you, regardless who you are, by the way. Rest in peace, Honorable Muhammad Ssegirinya, Mr. Update. Thank you.
Thank you.